Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to watch this video. Now this time I have mostly CD games, hence the title of the video, with the exception of one game. I'll put that out first. It's Yoshi's New Island for the 3DS. I've been meaning to get this for a while, but I kept putting it off, and then it became a Nintendo Select, so it was basically half price, so I figured, oh, why not? It's pretty much a remake or retelling of the original game for the Super Nintendo. It's not bad. I'm trying to work on my PlayStation 1 collection, so I got Loaded. This is a classic. Speaking of classic, this is how PS1 game cases used to look like. It's made by Interplay, the same company who did the Clay Fighter and Earthworm Jim games. It's a overhead shooter where you play as these 6 psychos, actually on the back here, trying to break out of a facility or something. One of them's on the cover here, is the most infamous character, Flank. And yeah, it's very violent. It's rated M, so. But there's also a sequel to this called Reloaded, no joke, but this was an awesome game. And the soundtrack is really good. In fact, if you hear that song playing in the background right now, that's actually from this game, which I think is partially what made me want to get it, from listening to the soundtrack. Next I got 1. That's literally the title of the game, it's 1. This was a really good game, but it's very hard. It's a 3D platformer shooter game. It came out in the late 90s, I believe? Well, maybe not, but yeah, I remember my brother had this, and I always really enjoyed it, so I found it fairly cheap, so I thought, I'll pick it up, why not? Another game I found really cheap, really cheap, Agile Warrior. I paid like $3 for this. But this was a great game. My stepfather was obsessed with it. It's a flying game, as you can tell from the cover, for 1 or 2 players. And it's more fun with 2 players, though, because then one player flies the jet, and the other one uses the bombs and missiles and stuff. You fly over deserts and forests and mountains and stuff. And it was actually, the music in this game was really good, especially on the desert level, which I think is on the back here. I think it's that one right there. I think that might be the desert. But the music for that level was awesome. It was used in a few a few episodes of Rocko's Modern Life, as well as an episode of SpongeBob, but that's a whole other story. I picked up a few more Sega Dreamcast games. Still don't have the system yet. Hopefully I should be getting one fairly soon, but first we have MDK2, another Interplay title and another third-person shooter game. I remember playing the first one for the original PlayStation 1 because my brother had it. Another really good game. And that one you played specifically as this guy, Kurt. The other 2 characters, Max and Dr. Hawkins, which is actually where the title of the game comes from. But I loved the first game and I always wanted to play this one, but it was exclusive to the Dreamcast, so I never got a chance. And I found it fairly cheap again. Sorry, it's damn allergies. Another sequel title, Vigilante 8, Second Offense. This one, as well as the first one, were multi-plat games. I played them years ago on the PlayStation 1, I believe. I have the N64 version of the first game, and I've been playing that a lot lately, so it made me want to get the sequel, so I thought, you know what, I think I'll get it for Dreamcast. It's pretty much the same idea as Twisted Metal, but in the 70s. Sorry, my freaking allergies are driving me nuts. Next we have Charge and Blast. I only recently heard of this game, but I thought it looked really cool. It's another third-person shooter. It kind of reminds me of Mega Man Legends, or it looks like Mega Man Legends. And this was only like $10, and it's still factory sealed. Moving on to, I got a couple of games for the Xbox 360. First up is Anarchy Reigns. I heard about this from my brother, and it's, I don't know if I'd call it a hidden gem exactly, maybe like underrated, because I found it for like $3 at GameStop, so, but it's not bad, you know, it's pretty much like Grand Theft Auto, but the graphic style, or kind of reminds me of Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon or Mad World almost, you know, but it's a good game, actually. Next we have Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare. I never really got into the Plants vs. Zombies game. I played the original strategy one years ago on a computer, but you know, like I said, I just never got into them. But this one is more like Gears of War, so I thought, it's a greatest hit or platinum hit. I'll give it a whirl. It's a fun game, actually, and plenty of people still play this online, which is always good. And I got quite a few Wii U games here. First is Pokken Tournament. This is basically a cross between Pokemon and Tekken, so it's a fighting game, obviously. You make your avatar, then you pick your Pokemon partner, which you can switch around and play. You play as the Pokemon, your partner, and you can switch them around to see which one you like best. I'm kind of really liking Blaziken. And there's actually 2 different Pikachus, the regular one and a Luchador one, which I thought was kind of an interesting idea. And you can play this online, too, which is pretty cool. And the thing with online gameplay, which is if you quit in the middle of a match, you'll actually lose points or your rank will go down. I have to admit, I actually kind of like that idea. Because, I know it sucks for if, your power goes out or you lose the internet service for some reason in the middle of a match. That's a little different. That would suck, but, for people who, rage quit, because I know quite a few of them myself, people who hate to lose and stuff, so, like I said, I kind of like the idea. Then I got Pikmin 3. I never really got into the Pikmin series, but I've been wanting to lately, and for some reason I thought, you know what, I think I'll start with the 3rd one, because it's the newest, or something, I don't know. And because it's been out of print for a while, but it recently came back as a Nintendo Select, so it was only $20, so picked it up and playing it. A lot of fun. And then, of course, I got Star Fox Zero. I actually bought this on the launch day. I'm still playing it. There's a lot of mixed opinions and reviews with this game. I really enjoyed this game, though. It is a remake or retelling of Star Fox 64, which was okay with me, because that's one of my favorite games of all time. And, it's like, that game I know by heart, all the paths, and dialogue and everything. I could play that today, it still doesn't get old. That's how much I love that game. Now, the R-Wing, as I'm sure most of you know, the R-Wing turns into a walker, and the tank, or the Landmaster, can turn into a jet. The Gyro Wing, which a lot of people didn't like, even people who really enjoyed the game, everyone seems to hate the Gyro Wing. I kind of like it, to be honest with you. And one of the guys at Game Explain, popular YouTube channel, he made a really good point that what's nice about that level is that you can move and navigate the level at your own pace opposed to the, flying fast through the whole level and stuff. But, yeah. Excellent game, though. It's, I'd say, I agree, it's probably not for everybody, but, because it really depends, but the thing is, the controls is one thing, I don't really have too much trouble with them, you just gotta take time to get good at them. And the only time I do have trouble with them is with the land vehicles, like the Walker and the Landmaster. Other than that, it's really not a big deal. So that being said, and the fact that this is a remake, my only real disappointment with the game is that there was no new characters, but that's just a little bit of a nitpick type of thing. If you use the Fox amiibo, you can play as the classic R-Wing from the Super Nintendo, and then if you do that on the first Cornerian level, it plays the classic Cornerian theme from the original game. If you use the Falco amiibo, you can fly as a black R-Wing, which has good blasters, like strong blasters, but weak shields. And then there's, spoiler alert, one of my favorite parts of the game is, the level is called Sector B, and it's very similar to Katina from Star Fox 64 when you're fighting alongside Bill. It's like that, you're fighting alongside, except it's in space. You're fighting alongside Bill, along with all the other dog pilots and stuff. Then Cat shows up, you remember Cat, Falco's friend? And then, Starwolf shows up and you have to fight them. I was like, this is amazing, it's like this epic space battle. Best Starwolf battle ever, in my opinion. And then, of course, Star Fox Zero came bundled with Star Fox Guard. This game is pretty good. It's what you call a tower defense game. You can actually kind of see it on the cover there. It's like you have to protect... That's Slippy's uncle. Kind of looks like my stepfather. But it's like you're trying to... You have this base and you're trying to protect the core, and there's all these robots trying to invade it, so you set up different gun turrets and stuff to try and blast them away. It's kind of fun. I have 4 games for the Xbox One, and I'll jump around with companies here. I'm trying to go by generation. First is Wolfenstein Old Blood. I got the New Order a while ago. I finally managed to beat it, and actually, I hated to see it end because it was such a good game. But I was like, I definitely need to get the new one, well, this is actually a prequel to Old Blood, but I was like, I'm gonna take a little break from Wolfenstein, but yeah, good game, very good. If you haven't played the Wolfenstein games, the new ones, I definitely recommend picking them up, because they're excellent games. I got Toy Soldiers War Chest, the Hall of Fame edition. I had the original, well, actually, I still have it, the original Toy Soldiers on Xbox Live, the arcade version. And I used to play that all the time. It's kind of like another tower defense game. Instead of turrets and stuff trying to fight off hordes of toys and stuff. It was actually a really fun game. Now, this one, which was really cool, kind of caught my attention. I think this was like 20 or 30 bucks. But it comes with a bunch of free DLC, including like He-Man and G.I. Joe characters, which I thought was really awesome. And a great idea, why not? And Mega Man Legacy Collection. I still have the Anniversary Collection that came out like 15 years ago or something. So I was like, do I really want to get this again? But I thought, I was listening to classic Mega Man music one day, so I thought, I think I need to get it. And it actually is a great deal. It's the classic NES games, and you can actually change the border and style so it looks more like the Japanese Rockman version and stuff. There's a lot of bonus content. There's challenges. Of course, there's achievements, which is another thing that, it's like, well, that gives me another reason to buy them again, so to speak. But some of the bonus challenges are pretty, it's like defeat the 8 bosses from the second game in a straight line without dying or something like that. But there's also ones that I'll say, like, Greg's challenge or Jeremy's challenge, which is kind of cool because it's like, it'll go from like a section of the first game, then you go through a portal, and then you'll go to like a section from the 6th game or something. Like, it's like they just kind of put together their own little thing, which is pretty neat. It also comes with these little coaster pog things, and as well as a cheat sheet, which shows all the bosses and their weaknesses. I don't use it because I think that's part of the fun, is trying to, at least for me, is trying to figure out who's weak against what. Then I got Doom. This game is absolutely amazing. I wasn't going to buy it right away, but then I decided, oh, what the hell, no pun intended. But oh, it's so good. The trailer for this from last year, the E3 gameplay trailer, I watched it like 12 times. And I was like, I gotta buy this when it comes out. Because that was why I kind of debated, because there was so many other, as you can see, there's so many other new games I was buying and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty much like the original Doom, like, more just run and shoot. A little bit of mission, objectives here and there, but mostly just run and shoot. All the classic weapons are back, including the double-barrel shotgun, which I think is my favorite weapon at this point. Or they still call it the super shotgun. There's all kinds of hidden mystery things you can find, including like these Doom guy dolls. When you find one, it plays the classic Doom theme from the first level, like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But yeah, I have 2 more things, not video games, but they are video game related. First, I got this Legend of Zelda. Hold on, it's a pain in the ass to open this. This Legend of Zelda Yahtzee thing. Hold on. So Yahtzee's a fun game anyway, but what you normally would use as the cup is, instead of a treasure chest from Link to the Past, the dice are all different colored. I always thought this was kind of cool, but pricey, so I found it on clearance at GameStop, so I picked it up. And then, of course, last but not least, I have a book. Sorry, the cat was chewing on the bookmark. It's Console Wars. Sega, Nintendo, and the battle that defined a generation. This book is absolutely stunning. It's so good. It's all about the console wars, if you remember, like Super Nintendo versus Sega Genesis. Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Blast processing, all that kind of stuff. But even if you're... I'm not a big reader myself, but it was like, something just kind of grabs your attention. Even if you like reading a little bit here and there, but you're a gamer, this is definitely worth picking up. You can find it for 10 or 15 bucks. But that's all my pickups for today, so thanks for watching. And have a nice day, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, have a nice day.